What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Balaj. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Over! All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And right away he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On play action, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Lucky 50. Wide.
Second down, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Cousins, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, Knight forced out to his left. He may try, and now a fumble. The ball's out. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point where you're going to pick up to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Balaj. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Gun!
Play fake. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They go play action. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They run it with Balaj. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Looking to throw. Going for the deep ball. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run. Doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
He'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. On the move to his left. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Off the play fake, Cousins. There he goes inside the 30. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Cousins now on second down. That is caught at the 7. His second catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. He will push his way down to about the 14. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. The Broncos in their hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. On the toss, here's Valage. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Back to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they had planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Broncos are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Detroit! Leopard!
They'll look to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Hey, Clifford! Black!
Play action now. Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Set! 3-19!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Line out! We're going, let's go!
Following the interception, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They pitch it out to Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. The Vikings on third down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Derek Wolfe able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And the blitz does come. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen from 19 yards away. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Bailey got the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Now Balaj. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This is taken at the 10. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Gun.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go.
Cook following the penalty. Room here to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said.
A give. This is Cook. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Yellow, 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 yellow.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins.
I know when I was a kid, I always got
under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
They'll run here with the launch. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Bird.
Second down, Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped in. Inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Abdullah. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now a run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Bailey now to kick this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got an offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Lucky 56, lucky 56. Detroit, Detroit.
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Now Cook. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. Cook, and this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He can run for it, and he will. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Emerson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Gone! Watch him now, Barney! All right, now, look at 56.
Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup at 34 yards. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The